All right, everybody, welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden, and a Happy New Year to everybody. So, today I want to talk about some New Year's resolutions, all right? Talk about my New Year's resolutions, and hopefully give you some ideas for yours. Like, for example, get a new hoe. Everybody needs a new hoe for the new year. I got an old hoe. I keep her around because she does a good job for me. All right. But number one, I highly recommend you plant a garden. Now, I've already planted a garden, but I'm going to improve upon my planting, and I'm going to do a lot more gardening this year. I'm going to try and pay more attention. I'm going to try and plant earlier, thus the planting today here in January. And if you haven't already started a garden, start it now. If your ground isn't frozen, dig it up. Get it ready. Start putting some material on it. Start getting it ready to go for the springtime. All right, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plant a fruit tree. Another one that probably a good idea for you. Come on over here. All right, so here is my hole to plant a fruit tree. As you can see, I found a prize. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it. I want to try and break it up and dig it out, or if I'm going to just leave it there. But this spot is going to be a pear tree to go with my other pear tree, so that hopefully it'll provide a pollinator. Putting a pear tree in the ground is like putting money in the bank, or money in the stock market actually. Hopefully it'll grow and it'll bear fruit for you for years to come. Alright, so another thing we're going to do as part of planting the garden is I am going to really pay attention, hopefully this year, to getting rid of, and by getting rid of I mean by planting, old seed. I have a whole bunch of seeds left over from times when I didn't plant them in the years past. Most of them are not more than 2 years old, but even if they are, they're going in the ground. Like these are radishes, and yes, here in Florida you can plant radishes right now if you can open the package, and only if you can open the package. For some reason that seems to be a bit beyond me right at the moment. Ha ha, he says. Now, radish seeds are easy to plant. It's one of the quickest growing vegetables there is. But these seeds, I think I ripped off the top, are from about 2 years ago. So we're going to get them in the ground. They grow great. If not, they'll just be part of my compost. Now, I know a lot of people don't like planting old seeds. I'll go buy new ones. But what are you going to do with the old ones? I mean, if they don't grow, it doesn't cost you anything you haven't already spent. Might as well try and grow them. Now, my seeds that I have right now for radishes, or my new seeds that I got from last year's plants, I'll be planting them a little later on in the year. But radishes are great because they not only give you radishes, but you can also eat the greens, and they're probably one of the fastest growing plants that you can plant and get food off of. About 28 days on average, and you'll have a little bit of food from your seeds. All right, that's all there is to that. Throw a little dirt on them, and voila, you got part of your garden planted. It is as simple as that. Now, no, hang on. Never throw your hoe down. Get it? Hoe down? For all you country folks out there. All right. Another thing I'm going to do this year is I'm going to start working really hard on my financial garden. What? Your financial garden? Yeah, I'm going to try and get a lot smarter, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about. But for my New Year's resolution this year, I'm really going to start planting more and more seed by way of buying more stocks. And there, oh man, here we go, stocks. Well, I'll tell you, if you buy good solid stocks and you leave them grow in a position where Essentially what happens is any dividends you get from the stock end up going back into reinvesting the shares into shares. It can be probably one of the best gardening ideas that you could possibly have. The beauty of buying stocks that give you dividends is that that's putting your money to work for you. Now everybody, you know, thinks, well, you know, I ain't got no money, I can't afford that, that's a rich man's game. No, it's not. All right, you can get several different apps, Webull, Stockpile, Robinhood, and even some of the bigger companies now, like Vanguard, is starting to do stocks by the slice, where you can buy a portion of a stock with a small amount of money. Some require investments as little as $1. So take 20 bucks. Don't go out to eat one day. Take that 20 bucks that you would have spent on eating out and put that money into some stocks. Buy stocks that you think are good companies, good solid companies that'll be around for the next 100 years. And then hold on to them. Don't sell them, just hold on to them. Let the dividends grow. And then when you get a chance, add a little more, add a little more, add a little more. And before you know it, you're going to have a whole bunch of stocks that are paying you dividends. And that's money that you don't have to work for. All right, kind of like a garden or a fruit tree. Once you plant a fruit tree, it just keeps growing your food. Another thing that will really help you out, and what I'm going to try and do this year, is to get smarter. Now, how do you get smarter? Well, you can get smart about a lot of different things, and almost anything and everything that you want to get smarter about is out there on the internet. This is a fantastic time. I grew up when you used to have to go to the library to do research, and now, not only can you research, but you can also train online. You can get jobs online. You can do anything online. So while you're sitting at home in the pandemic, being miserable and feeling sorry for yourself, get smarter. If you have a job, start looking at maybe getting a qualification that will improve your position at your job. Or, even better yet, get you some kind of knowledge and qualifications that'll get you a better job. If you have a job right now, which I do not, but if you have a job right now and you're not looking for your next job, that's probably a mistake. All right, getting comfortable is great, and if you're making good enough money for what you want to do, that's fantastic. But if you're not, which is most of us, and if you think that you're worth more, then why are you still at your old job? Never quit a job until you got a job, but never stop looking for a better job. All right, another thing I'm going to do here in 2021, it's going to get hard to say, or hard to remember, I guess, is I'm going to continue to try and be more frugal. All right, and by that I don't mean I'm going to live dirt poor. I'm going to tell you a story. My mother probably never made more than $10 an hour in her life. I don't think she ever made 10 bucks an hour. But she died with just short of $2 million in the bank. Now, how did she do that? She did it by living dirt cheap. And I mean dirt cheap. She didn't flush a toilet unless she had to. She didn't shower as often as she should. She wouldn't spend money on water. She wouldn't spend money on electricity. She lived in northern Texas where it gets cold, and she would not run the heater. Had a perfectly good heater because I made sure that her heater worked. All right. So those are my resolutions this year. I'm going to make sure I work more in the garden. I'm going to plant more fruit trees, even though I've got about 30 of them. Oh, and by the way, it's one of the greatest ways there is to get rid of carbon dioxide in the air. I'm going to try and get smarter about a lot of things. I'm going to spend more time on my finances and try and grow my financial garden. Just spending time alone, just spending time thinking about it and researching it will give you a return on your investment, that ROI that everybody's looking for. I'm going to try and be more frugal. All right, I'm going to eat out more from my garden. I'm going to cook more at home, and I'm going to save myself all that money that I spent going out to eat. And you're thinking to yourself, well, what about all them waiters and cooks that need to be paid? They'll get paid. There'll be another restaurant. There'll be another chance for them to do well, but it's not necessarily something that I have to do. All right, I need to take care of me. All right, like it says in the Bible somewhere, don't worry about the speck in my eye until you take the board out of your own. And then this one here is my last resolution, and I really hope that all of you will take it up. And that is simply to be nicer to people. Respect people. In the Navy, we used to say that assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. Oops, he said a bad word. And I want to stress that, because when we start talking about race or political affiliations or religious or this, you know, that guy's got blonde hair, so he must believe this. we aren't making assumptions. All right, everybody's got their own story. Everybody's got their own beliefs. Everybody's got their own history. Nobody is the same. And I don't care what color your skin is, or where you come from, or how much money you got. Everybody has their own story, their own opinions, and their own ideas of what's good for the future. All I'm asking you is to be nice to these people. If somebody has a different view than you, that's somebody you should talk to. Ask them why. Don't try and inflict your views upon them, but rather listen to what they have to say and treat them with respect and decency and kindness. If we all do that, all right, that doesn't mean we have to change our opinions. It doesn't mean we have to change who we are. But it does give you the opportunity to see the other side and hopefully make a friend. All right? Somebody that doesn't hate you. Somebody that really perhaps would grow to like you and respect you. And I think that is the key to a better, more inclusive, and a happier 2021. So once again, Happy New Year's to y'all. Like, subscribe, and grow some.